Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Good morning. Just waiting and checking and testing. Let's see how that goes. I don't have sound on. Uh-oh. Yep. That's what I was a little worried about. So, there we go. All right. Okay, then. Always have to check my sound. Now I turn it down and there's no music playing in the background and we're good to go.
Awesome.
All right. So welcome. Good morning. Welcome to Sofa Sundays. I'm Reverend Jeannie and this is my guest today, Bella Enriquez.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So Bella and I have known each other a million years and but we're only 10 each. So it's girl math. And but she is here for a fabulous conversation with us, and we will get started in a second here. I just want to tell you where we're located. We're at 7220 North 16th Street in Phoenix, Arizona, Building A1. You'll know that because the girls are on the door, and you're never late at the sofa, so come anytime. Come on in, get a hug, say hello, have a cup of coffee. We're here for you. Okay. So just in this space and in this knowing, in this time period that is the divine confidence that is each of us, I know and affirm that this is the truth of me and of every person within the sound of my voice and beyond. I speak my word as law, knowing that this time together is blessed, that this time together brings forth exactly what we need to hear, what we need to say, what needs to be revealed. And I offer blessings to teachers and leaders of all faiths, all countries, everywhere, knowing that they are guided, guarded, and protected, that the divine in them shows exactly what needs to happen and to be expressed as. And for this, I am so grateful. I claim peace in our world. And I know this to be the truth in the divine mind now. And I say, thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe. For this, I am so grateful. I let it go and I call it good. Together we say, and so it is. All right. So, welcome. Welcome to the sofa. This is your first time on my sofa.
I know. I'm so excited. How fun.
How fun. Sofa time. Yes.
Well, we had a lot of sofa time when we were working together.
Yes. We worked together for several years.
Dream job.
Yes. We had so much fun. We really did.
Yeah.
We walked into a job pretty much together and had to learn it from the business from the ground up. And and create a community together. And it was something neither one of us had really done prior, and I'm still there.
Yeah, you're the lucky one. It was one of the best experiences of my working life, for sure.
Thank you. I love that.
Yeah.
And I had to beg her several times. Actually, I had to beg her twice to come and do the job with me. Because the first time she said no, and then the second time she said maybe, and then she came. and then left, got promoted to a different division and everything, and then left the company, did some other things. And then I thought I was getting
this other community, which I now have. But at the time, I thought I was getting it, so I asked her to come back and work at that community. So we've worked together several times over the years.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And well, today's oh, good. Evie says I can hear you. Good. I'm glad. That's why I have my people out there checking on, because it always sounds good in here. And as I always say, if you can't hear us, we've solved all the world's problems, and we apologize that you missed it. So today's topic is I move through life with divine confidence. Man, I love this. I always say to Michelle, how do we come up with these things? Like,
Love it.
now we're in our 4th year. And so we have decks of cards going 4 years back. And I carry, like, in my purse, a pouch of the cards, and I give them out to people randomly. I'm like, pick a card, any card. Because these affirmations are always available for me whenever I need them. And so we were at a conference last year, and I was giving out cards, and I would go, oh, which one did you get? And they would read it to me, and I'd be like, gosh, we're good. Like, that's an amazing affirmation. Where do we come up with this stuff? And we do this like the year before. We pick out the next year's topic. So we have no idea what's happening in the world when this one happens to come up.
How fun.
Right?
Yeah.
And it always seems to be exactly what I need in
Very
the moment.
synchronistic.
Yes. So moving through life with divine confidence, I think most people could use right now, considering the state of affairs
Yes.
happening, right?
Yes.
Like yesterday, our government bombed another country. So knowing that we're operating in divine confidence in our own lives and moving through life with that, when it seems like the world at large is a mess. And I say seems like because depending on who you are, you're, like I said, there are 8 billion people in the world. There are 8 billion worlds, right? We all see things through our own reference points, through what we've experienced, through the morals and the values that we hold to be true. And for me, as an ex-military wife, when I hear things like that, I have a fear for those that are out there. I remember, and not only am I an ex-military wife, but most of my family was in the military. Most of my male family members have been in the military and active military during the time periods in the 90s where we did have wars that they were out in Iran and Iraq. So
Yeah.
this has some familiarity to me in that, and I remember what that felt like, So I sent so much love and so much prayers out to the family members of service members, and also to that area of the world that is experiencing that. I can't even imagine sending my child to school while bombs were, and then bombs drop. That
Yeah.
just seems surreal,
Well, it's definitely a time to move in divine confidence
Mhm.
and to remember that the world is really in our hands.
Absolutely. Right.
So
And how
collectively.
how we can make a difference is how we go forth, right?
Mhm.
So the divine confidence in knowing that regardless of the mess it looks like, that there are options for us in moving forward,
Definitely.
and that comes from who our source is, or what source is, like knowing that the government is not my source, that I have a divine universal life force that is in me, gives me a sense of safety that I don't know that I would feel without.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I know that no matter what happens in my life, I do believe I am divinely guided, guarded, and protected.
Yep.
And I don't know that everyone feels that, And that I would love to give. Like if I could bottle something up and give to human beings, it would be that divine confidence that you are safe.
I would do the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that doesn't always mean that you're physically safe,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's an
It's like a
unfortunate
soul
thing.
safety.
A soul safety, right? Because this stuff can't touch my essence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my body may be harmed, you know, and I have had physical harm,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and physical health issues and emotional health issues and mental health issues. Like I have experienced those things, but who I am at the soul level
Mm-hmm.
has never been damaged. I am not broken. And I think that is the most important thing for individuals to know, that they are not broken. Because I think a lot of times we walk around thinking we are, and that we somehow, if we could just do the next indicated step to fix it, we would be better.
Yeah. Well said. For sure.
So tell me, how's divine confidence show up with you?
I definitely resonate with everything that you said. I think that there is a sense of soul safety that I have gained as of late. My wife passed away a couple of years ago, very tragically, and I think that grief it's harrowing, but it's also an opportunity to really take stock of your life and to develop a spiritual connection with source. That's how it turned out with me, because I felt like I had nothing left. So
Yeah, because that love,
mhm.
yeah, that's it. And that's a huge grief.
Yeah. And so in feeling that I had nothing left, I turned my face towards the sun, so to speak. And I resonate with what you said about there being a sense that no matter what I've gone through, my soul has remained intact and is insulated and pure. So I'm very grateful for that. I don't think everyone experiences that, unfortunately. But I also know that for those who are not experiencing it, there is a way to get back to that. I think we're born into that.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a way to get back to it.
Right. I was going to say that. I think that, like, when you look at a baby, you look at, they're innocent. They have done nothing. I think that's why, I was so grateful to find New Thought, because Catholicism just didn't resonate that I was born with some kind of original sin. Like I did nothing and you're calling me a sinner, right? Like I hadn't done anything to receive this grief from God, type of, this external situation there. And you look at babies and you hold them, and I got the privilege of holding a friend's child the other day, and he was just so loving. He was just pure joy. And that's who we are on the inside. That's, but like that, the story of the golden Buddha who, years ago, there was this scenario where this golden Buddha that army was coming in, and they were pillaging everything, and the monks didn't want them to take their Buddha, so they covered it with clay. And they came in and they annihilated all the monks, and so like nobody knew, and it just sat there because who's going to take this big clay Buddha? They didn't care, and they let it go, and it went for hundreds of years. And then at some point, some land developer comes to move things. And when they were moving this, the clay cracked, and they were so scared. And then they saw underneath it, when this clay fell off, it was golden. And that's us, right? We're those golden Buddhas. And our life experiences are putting clay on top of us. And we don't maybe look the way others expect good humans to look,
Mhm.
right? We judge people based on their appearance or their addictions or their health situations or whatever it is that is their clay on them, and forget that we are all born this golden Buddha, this pure joy, love, energy, this divine confidence. And we forget this about others. And then we other people.
Yeah.
We say they are the problem.
Mhm.
They're the ones doing this. And that's very easy in this world today
Mhm.
to pick a group and say, you're the issue.
Yeah. There's a lot of dehumanizing going on right
Mhm.
now. And one of the churches that I'm involved in has a project called the Rehumanization Project.
Oh, I love that.
And I think we need to move into that and understand that, you know, nobody's perfect. Life is so complex. There's no way that you could ever really truly put yourself in someone else's shoes. And so I think there needs to be a return to that sense that we're all human and we're all in this together.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Because I think the division that happens between humans creates a lot of what we've been seeing and experiencing in the world
Mhm.
today. And I know that it can get that way, and it's easy to get that way,
Mhm.
right? I've experienced being on the other end as, a gay woman. I've experienced it. I'm sure you have too,
Yes.
right? Right. Where, we've been othered.
Mhm.
I've also othered people who were not like me. So if you did not have the same concept of the divineness me, then it's easy for me to not listen.
Mhm.
Right? So I have had to be more conscious and aware that all paths to the divine are valid.
Mhm.
And I am not the judge of how you receive source energy,
Mhm.
and that was an ego hit for me because I thought, well, my way's the right way.
Mhm.
And how many times do we believe that in life, whether it's work, whether it's home, whether it's our religious practice or our health practice or whatever it is, we think our way's the right way, or at least we know a better way.
Mhm.
Even if we're not, like, I've done that, like, okay, I'm not perfect, but I know a better way than the way you're doing it,
Yeah.
type of deal.
Yeah.
And we think that's a helpful thing. I've never done it maliciously. Let me help you be better is how my intention is, right? However, it's not received that way,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And I certainly wouldn't somebody to set me up with some man to help me be better, like that. I would not receive that in a way that would be helpful to me.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of times we do that to people thinking we're giving them a gift that they're not asking for.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, I think, a huge part of the business of life is protecting yourself.
Mm,
So protecting your sense of identity, your sense of self, that goes along with, creating what your ideas of what we're doing here, where we're going. And when we take that protective stance over ourselves, that's, I think, when we start othering people.
sure.
I think deep down, everybody has a good soul underneath everything, underneath the clay.
Underneath the clay.
Underneath
Yes.
the clay. And I think we're all trying to figure out ways to
Where
kind
that-
of,
Get rid of that clay.
yeah.
Oh, we were talking earlier before we came on air about different things that, we've used in life. I was talking about caffeine and cigarettes and alcohol and drugs and food and shopping and sex. I mean, and religion can be one of those things as well, right? Is that we can come up with things that are our crutches that give us a sense of stability, but not necessarily divine confidence.
Right.
Right. So, and going to the religious aspect or that part of it for divine confidence, knowing that I can depend on the universe to grant me experience. That is, I know.
You can definitely count on that.
I'm counting on experience, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm counting on experience, right? I have experience, and Deb Covington was my guest a couple of weeks ago, and she said, "What if that's the only reason we're here, is to have experience?" Well, I can confidently get behind that, because if the whole point, and one of my big lines is, "I'm here to give God a good time as Jeannie," right? If the whole point is for the divine to know itself as us, right? Then that's all I'm here for, is experience.
Yeah.
Is figuring out what I like and don't like, what I want and don't want, and there is no grander design for it.
Well, one of my favorite quotes that I saw on Instagram is, "When the goal is experience, everything is a win."
Oh, I got to write that one down. When the goal is experienced, everything is a win.
Yeah, I love that. Definitely helped me kind of reframe my life story.
Because if I start talking while I'm writing, I'll get it wrong.
Same.
That's one of my experiences.
Yes.
One of my other experiences is that I have stopped writing 2025. I am now writing 2026. Welcome to March. It's only been 2 months where
That's all right.
I don't know what year it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love going to California. I went to California last week. I love going to California because I said to Dakota, it's kind of like time travel because I get an hour back, and so that's kind of amazing there for that experience. And I don't know where time travel came from for me, but it just pops in. It just pops in. It's sometimes it's like ADD here on the sofa, so I apologize for that.
That's all right. I mean, my friends in California right now can't believe how hot it is out here.
Oh, I know.
They're complaining about
90 degrees in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very nice.
It must be nice to go back over there and get
It is. Once a month, I get like a little coolness.
Yeah, a little 10-degree break.
We saw snow in California on the mountains. So yeah, they had we were more inland than San Diego, so we were like in the Inland Empire, and there's mountains that we follow as we come in, and yeah, they had snow on them. It was great.
Oh, how nice.
It was very, to remember again. So like, that's when I realized that there is so much beauty in this world, which I think sometimes it's hard to grasp when we're dealing with hard situations, whether it's hard world situations or personal life, grief, circumstances. When you said that brought you back to the sun, the grief, the divine confidence there, that really that's really a choice. Because a lot of times I think what happens when we deal with grief is, well, I know for me, I can get into that part that makes me want to cut myself off from the divine.
Oh, well, I was definitely in there too.
Yeah.
But I do think, the beauty in life is very important, because I do feel that beauty brings us back to the divine. it's that hopefulness, you know, at least the hope of experiencing it, the hope of preserving it. This is why art has always been so pivotal in any kind of, you know, dire political straits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there's such a connection between beauty and the divine. And I think, you know, to move through life with divine confidence is to appreciate and acknowledge and radiate your own personal brand of beauty.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love that you brought art into it. This book that I'm currently digesting is the best word to call it, called Quantum Revelation by Paul Levy. Part of it, they were talking about how, when you brought up art, about the art in the early 1900s in Germany as everything was happening there. You know, how it also was on fire. It was bringing out these creative things in people because their passions were set, right? You know, there are some heavy emotions happening in the world, right? No matter what end of the spectrum you're on, there are some heavy emotions happening. And that is where art gets created from, right? That fire in the pit of our soul, in our, you know, root chakra of who we are, our root and our sacral chakras of who we are and how that expresses itself. So there's a lot of that happening.
Definitely.
Yeah, I see that in the world, and some of it's even funny. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, you know, that's a great way to get your point across.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that makes the artist is that the artist believes in their own message. So
Yes.
we need to believe in our own divinity in order to move through life with confidence. I wore this cute little pin today that says, "As far as I know, I'm delightful."
Yeah, there you go.
That is my motto. As far as I know, I'm delightful, you know, and it's believing that, believing in your own sense of delightfulness that helps you move through life with confidence, helps me move through life with confidence. You know, it's not a perfect confidence, definitely not, but it's a goal. So
Yeah, I think that, you know, anytime we go and we do something new,
yeah,
right? That is where it's like, okay, so can I confidently do this? You know, I have two ways of handling new situations. I go in, you know, all the way. I want to say a term that I go in balls to the walls, right? I mean, like, I can
love
do
that
it,
term.
right? Like, I'm there.
One of my favorite.
Right? I'm there. It doesn't matter. I've got this. So I have that type of confidence. And then I feel like it doesn't matter because if I don't have experience in something, who cares? Right? Like, that's the type of new experience. I do, and it's funny that I have so much confidence in doing something I've never done before, and less confidence in doing something I have done before. That's my other way. If I have experience in something, even expert experience in something, I don't always feel that divine confidence in it. You know, I let that, you know, even if it is my zone of genius, so to speak, like, but I let other people's opinions, and not even other people's opinions, my idea of what other people's opinions are, right? So it's not even true,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's not even, it's my concept of what they think of me. Man, and I can mess with my mind about that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've never done this before.
Right?
guess my point in saying that is because you exude confidence, it helps other people become more confident.
Right.
And I thought to myself, well, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, but Jeannie knows what she's doing. And I felt, you know,
So there's a safety in that.
there's a safety in
Yeah.
that. So in kind of like circling back to what we were talking about before is, you know, how do we kind of like stoke the fires of hope and moving through life with your own sense of divine confidence
Yes.
also helps others.
Absolutely. It gives others permission,
Yeah, it does.
right? It gives other people permission to be bolder,
Yeah.
to be confident. And I actually have a friend at work who will call me up and say, so I thought to myself, WWJD, what would Jeannie do? And I love that because, you know, her and I have very different personalities. So sometimes when she handles things her way,
Mhm.
it doesn't work out. And then she'll go, okay, what would Jeannie do? Right?
There you
So there you go. There's a different expression there. And I kind of will, so in this class I'm in with Advanced Consciousness Studies, one of the things that we talked about was, remember that show Sense8 was on a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you need to watch Sense8. So Sense8 is about 8 people who live in different areas of the world, who were all born on the same day and have this psychic connection. But it's beyond a psychic connection. They can jump into, quantum leap into each other's bodies when needed.
Oh, wow.
So, like, if you are being attacked on the street, the person that knows, you know, karate jumps in and does the thing and beats the people up. Like, it's
Oh, how handy.
so it's a very handy thing, right?
Yes.
You need a plumber, they jump in. So it's kind of that idea. And so we were talking about this in class about how and Dr. James picked 2 people, and one is he said, if you were to describe yourself, and she said, well, I'm a speaker. I have had a microphone in my hand since I was a kid. I love that. So then, of course, he picked somebody who that is not their forte
Mhm.
and said, now you describe. And she goes, well, if I know what I'm talking about and I'm teaching a small group and, you know, then I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's see, if this was Sense8, you could take her and, you know, embody, you know, or WWJD on it, you know, like
Mhm.
you could embody this person and go forth from there. Because if our teaching of we are all one is true, and I believe it is, I do believe that we are all one, then why couldn't I borrow your confidence in an area that I am not so confident in?
Mhm.
That would be divine confidence.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Right? I can take that and bring that into me of what that would feel like and embody that,
Mhm.
you know. And that, when he said that, I was like, because there are a lot of things that I don't want to do because I don't have experience. You know, well, how do you get experience unless you do it? Right? You have
right.
to do things to
Right.
get experience. And I think that there are times that I allow fear of the unknown, even in little things, to stop me from experiencing life and maybe finding something that I do enjoy,
Mhm.
right? Because there's that safety net, right? I didn't know what I was doing at work when we first started working there, but 12 years later I do. I'm
Yeah.
very safe there,
Yes.
you know? So that kind of, there's that part where when you're safe, you know, why would I want to jeopardize
Mhm.
a safety thing, right? It was like, I remember when we bought our house, we had never bought a house before. And we had lived someplace for 11 years. And now we had to move because they were selling it. And we had to find another place to live. There was such fear in that. Now, everybody else in the universe has done something like that, right? You've all done something where you know you need to, but you don't want to.
Mhm.
I like to be safe. I'm not saying I like to be static or, non-inventive or anything. I just like to be safe. Who doesn't like to feel safe? Right? That's my sanctuary. That's my sovereignty, is to be safe. And sometimes risk will feel too much for me.
Yeah.
So now, stepping into a risk with divine confidence, though, if I can say, all right, I know so-and-so bought a house.
Mhm.
She did it, I can do it.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll call her. And I'll say, how did you do this? Who did you call? What do you look for? The funny thing is I bought a mobile home. I sell mobile homes. I still didn't look at the things I should have. So, like, I had expertise in an area and I didn't use it. There are things that we do in life that we forget that we're not alone.
No.
We're not the only thing making a decision here.
Well, safety is our natural state. I mean, we were born or conceived in safety for the
Mhm.
most part. We were inside our mother's wombs. All of our needs were taken care of. We want to return to that, I believe.
Right,
all
that
humans
safety.
want to return to that safety. And I think that one of the ways that I have been able to kind of return to that sense of safety and divine confidence is to really tap into my divine feminine nature.
Mm-hmm.
Reparent myself, be the mother that I wish that, my mother's wonderful, but, the mother that I wish I could have had with me at all times and every
Mhm.
single experience of my life. Guiding me how to move, what to do, what to think. And that comes with time. It comes with age. It comes with experience. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, safety is, if not the number one driving
Right.
force in our lives, it's definitely one of them for sure.
Right. Yeah. I think in Maslow's pyramid, right? I think that's like one of the number one things that we need to be able to go forth, to be able to grow and, confident and growing confidently. And which I think that type of confidence is a little different than the divine confidence we're talking about, right? But the two are related, right? Because I know that when I feel confident in such a way that, like we were talking about earlier, that no matter what happens to this external, earth body packaging that I'm in, that I know that soul, that inner spark, that flame of life is never extinguished. I believe that. I believe in that internality that, like, when I leave this planet, that I'm not done. This essence of who I am isn't done. It's just this package that's done. So I do have such a confidence in knowing that there are, and that we're all that flame, and that is never extinguished. So there's not a fear that I'll somehow just disappear.
I feel the same way. I mean, in learning that energy never goes away, it just gets transmuted, and that's scientific fact.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we think of our lives in terms of energy, even like the sharing of confidence energy and things like that, then we can never truly die.
Right. And when you know that, then there is a little bit more confidence in yourself, in taking some risks. Like jumping out of an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did do that. I did do that for my 49th birthday.
I don't have that much
jumped out of the airplane. I will tell you that
and I love that I have this picture above my desk or, behind me that is me holding on to the backpack that
I love
is
it.
attached to the tandem jumper with me. And I have this look that glows like this.
You look terrible.
I am so terrified. I am so beyond terrified, in that moment. But I was with friends who, one went before me, one went after me. So, like, there are sometimes, I'm going to go back to that great metaphysician from that show. What was it? I can't even remember where he goes. But did you die? Yeah. The Hangover. That was the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Like he asked that question, and there you go. I didn't die.
Yes.
Right. There was a risk I took. I was scared, but I didn't die,
Yeah.
And sometimes
That builds confidence.
it really does.
The more times
you don't die,
the
and then
more confidence
like,
you become.
hey, and I am not an adrenaline junkie. Trust me. I don't even know, like, that went back so far. It was one of those things that had been in my mind for so long that I just had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm good. I never have to do it again. Nope. But I've done things like that, like where I've jumped off of cliffs that I didn't think I could do. And, I have a hard time jumping off into anything. I did a zip lining on a cruise, and they just do it on the ship. And my 10-year-old niece did it. And I was like, I did. I did eventually do it after my nephew made fun of me that his daughter had done it. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So but jumping off into something is scary.
It is.
What if I don't get caught? What if I fall? And I think about that both literally and figuratively. When you try something new, what if I don't make it? So what if you don't make it? Okay, but did you die? No. Okay. You just and I say that at work all the time. Nothing here is fatal, right?
Yes.
We'll call somebody, we'll get it fixed. Nothing here is fatal, And I think a lot of times, part of the reason people don't move forward in things is because of that fear that it's going to be the end of something,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, most beginnings are the end of something else.
Yes,
That's how we get new beginnings,
definitely.
right?
I love that quote that says, what if I fall? And it says, but oh my darling, what if you fly?
Yes.
I love that
Yes.
one. And we did fly. We didn't know what we were doing in that community.
Exactly.
And then flash forward a couple years later, everyone's calling Jeannie to figure out
Yeah.
what to do.
What to do about something.
Even experienced people that've been in the company for years were
Exactly.
calling Jeannie, like, what do we do about this? What do
Yeah,
we do
and
about
they still
this?
do. Yeah, they still just call Jeannie.
Mhm.
The funny thing, yeah, right? Yeah, I know you have that experience too.
Yeah.
It is kind of fun, but it was because we just did it.
We just did it.
We just did it. And I remember, in the early years, there was this report we all had to do that didn't exist. Do you remember this?
Oh my God.
There's
don't.
this report that we had to do that didn't exist. And so I faked it. So this is how I became Just Ask Jeannie, because I faked the report. I found the information. I threw it together in something because nobody knew where you could get it. And then I found out that's because it doesn't exist. And that, it was on a form that our bosses had to do. And apparently either they were supposed to create this form or this report, or it used to exist on a different computer program that they had. Either way, it no longer existed. It should have been taken out. But because I created one, then everybody was calling me on how I did that report, because my boss would go, oh, Jeannie has it, just ask her. And I was faking it. So see, just fake it.
See?
Fake it till you make it. I mean, sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
do.
have to, right?
Yes.
I mean, and I know that we're talking earlier about how great it is, to have kids that can work. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that as a new mom I had to do. I
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Here's this, okay, right? I didn't. No book in the world prepares you for parenthood, right?
No.
Like, you just don't know. They don't come with instructions. And even if they did, it would be like, yeah, but if you have this model, please turn to page,
Right.
you don't know.
And this was the pre-internet days.
Right.
So, I mean,
There was no mommy and me group that was
Yeah.
going to explain it, right?
there was what to expect when you're expecting, and that's about it.
Right, and then Dr. Spock's How to Beat
Yeah.
Your Child and Traumatize Him for Life. Actually, that wasn't the name of the book, but that's how it felt. And my daughter, she made a point about something because I did a little traumatizing to this kid. I love her to death. She's in her 30s now, but she pointed out some of the behaviors that she had as a child that would now be diagnosed as autism. And I just made her, she learned to mask things very quickly, and she would get overstimulated and have breakdowns. Well, no, we're not going to allow that. So I would take out a camera and take pictures of her that would eventually embarrass her. I'm admitting to what a horrible parent I was. But again, there was no internet. Anytime, so you only had to do it a couple of times, and by then, all you had to do, there wasn't phone cameras either, thank God. You take out a camera, whether there was film or not, the kid would start to smile because she didn't want that picture. And we spoke about this recently, and she goes, Mom, maybe I was just overstimulated. I go, yeah, because my grandson's on the spectrum, so I watch these things and I see how beautiful of a parent she is with these things that I had no idea about. It wasn't something that was talked about. I didn't have the knowledge. I was doing the best I can to, have my kid behave in public, type of deal. And now seeing it with older eyes, with the knowledge I have now, and watching my daughter parent a child who has this overstimulation, scenario happen and breakdowns, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, but I didn't know.
No, and nobody really knew. And I think, the goal of life, I believe, should be to spiral upwards.
Absolutely.
Hopefully the new generations are better than the last, and we should avoid having the older generations judge the younger generations too harshly, and so on and so forth.
And that goes for millennials judging the alphas
Yeah.
and the Z's. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, millennials.
Yeah.
When Gen X isn't judging you, watch yourself.
Yeah. I'm very proud of my Gen X status, but I think we're hopefully progressing upwards. I think that's another way of moving through life with divine confidence is to, although I agree that, with Deb, that the point of life could very well be just to collect a variety of different experiences. I think there's this type of growth in that too, though.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I agree.
The anthology keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Over time. So, yeah.
That is true, and I love that you said the spiral upward. Made me think of Reverend Flo, how she would talk about that. How you think, well, I've already had this problem. I fixed it, I solved it, I was good, I grew. And then a year and a half later, you're experiencing it again, just not as heavy. And then you're experiencing it again, and that as we learn through things. There you go. As a 30-year-old parent, I had some way different things that I do as a 59-year-old grandmother.
Yeah.
I'm totally a different human, and compassion and availability than I was as a 30-year-old parent. Going through that. So yeah, you do learn.
Yes.
And thank God.
Thank God for
right?
that.
We did, hopefully, right? That we learned, and those that don't, there's purpose there too for those that don't spiral upward. I don't know what that is. I wish I could give you a reason for it. You know, why some don't move towards the light. And I don't know. I can't imagine that it feels good not to. You know, I can imagine that it would feel heavy.
I feel like it would too.
Yeah, so
Sometimes we just need contrast in life, though, just like the stars. You know, it needs the black sky in order for you to even see it. So
right, it's not like the stars aren't there right now.
we all serve our purpose, no matter where we're at in life. We're serving a purpose. So
Well, I have loved this.
me
This
too.
has been an amazing conversation.
Is it already done?
Yeah, it was there.
Yay.
Yeah, it was there.
My
Yeah.
first time. I was so scared.
What
I thought, what am I gonna
did you talk about? Yeah, and
Oh.
isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like you sit down and you're like, oh, when you have there's a topic, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like you think,
Yeah.
and that's what Michelle and I talk about all the time. It's like, wow, we thought we'd run out of things to say by now, but no, like because we
Yeah.
continue to grow and we continue to move
I can keep
forward,
going.
right? And it's like, well, do you have anything for us?
Just one thing.
Yes.
Sure. Oh, here.
Oh, you're gonna
Yes.
I can.
I can move.
You
Thank
can move.
goodness.
I just want to say that the thing that I always think about when I'm when there's a crisis going on is, did I kill somebody? Did I bankrupt them, or did I send them to jail? If I didn't do either of those, it's not the end of the world.
Yes.
And I have to keep telling myself over and over and over that this is not a job that's going to kill somebody, and it's not going to kill me for sure.
Mhm.
It's not going to bankrupt anybody, and it's not going to send them to jail. So I'm good.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, that's perfect, right? That is. I mean, that's because I think a lot of times we do grab onto things and make them feel like there's a fatal nature in something that really, like they used to say, in 5 years will it matter? In 10
Right.
years will it matter?
Or in
Well,
25 minutes.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sometimes it doesn't even matter in 5 minutes,
Right.
right? Like, but we'll have that fight or flight over something that is not a saber-toothed tiger,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it just reminded me when you told me that, and when we were working together, it really freed me because I always had such a sense of perfectionism, imposter syndrome kind of thing, and it was just like flipping a switch. But weirdly enough, you never know how people are going to take things.
right?
I repeated that at one of my jobs maybe a year ago, and the girl got upset. She was like, "You don't take my job seriously," and I said, "I do take it seriously. I'm trying to console you. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it so much.
You
Nobody's
didn't
gonna-
work in a hospital,
nobody's
right?
gonna
Like,
die.
don't say that in a
Yeah.
hospital. Probably not the best.
You just never know how people
right
are gonna
on how
take
people are
things.
going to take
Yeah.
things, right?
So,
And you are right there. Maybe you could find a different way than say it's not fatal. But truthfully, I like you. Did you kill anybody? Did you bankrupt anybody? Are you sending anybody to jail? No? Okay, we're good.
we're
Yeah.
good. We're good.
And I still do use that in my assistants. Like, there are so many different things that we can do wrong that will require us to reach out beyond my ability.
Mhm.
And I know nobody wants, like you deposit the wrong check or you put the wrong number in or stuff like that. I'm like, oh, baby, we'll call AP. Like, it's not, it might take us a minute. Sure, we'll have to put a note for the auditor. Yeah, maybe it'll be a point off. But none of this stuff
Mhm.
is attacking who we are as humans. I don't feel less about you as a human being because of this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a mark against you as my assistant or as my employee or even as my boss, and things. Like, this doesn't matter. I mean, yes, the job is important, but in the grand scheme of life, It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We will move on.
Yes.
It's a blip. That's something. One of the questions we were asked was, if was man created, and if man was created, why?
Mhm.
Right? And so, in one of our breakout rooms in this class, I had another person, and he goes, what we tend to think is that mankind is the be all end all. It's like, why was the universe created? And when you look at it as a universal thing, we are a blip.
Yep.
We are but a blip on it. It's like saying, why were ants created? I don't know, they're there. Okay. I mean, that's how we are in the universe. Why was humanity created?
They're probably sitting around wondering why we were created.
Exactly. Like, don't know, right? Like, but that don't have to give it another thought. It really is. And that's why I go back to the point that Deb made is, what we're just here to experience.
Mhm.
And I love that, because that kind of takes the whole, I'm here to grow, I'm here to be a millionaire, I'm here to, get things and manifest, and, especially in this teaching, a lot of times there's a like, let's see you manifest. Well, what if I don't want to? What if I'm okay just as I am?
Yeah.
What if the best I want in life is that internal safety and calmness, and to be able to go to the beach once a month? I mean, what if that's really just what I want, and I don't need $1 million mansion,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like, it's okay. Or it's also okay if I want $1 million mansion and I want 100 million cars, and it's okay to want that too. Want whatever you want, and desire, and go for it or not. It's all experience.
Yes.
It's all experience. You'll experience what it's like not to get your way. You'll experience what it's like to get your way. And then you'll experience what it's like to get your way and not want it anymore.
And that happens a lot.
And that happens a lot.
That's horrible.
Because but we put such emotional impact, and here is something I'll tell you as a practitioner and a minister. We put such emotional impact into a material thing that if I had, I would be happy, right? Well, what's that feeling of happiness for you? Get that feeling, and you're not going to need if I had.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's the feeling you're looking for. So if you know that feeling, you don't need the other stuff, right?
That's true.
So that's where people kind of miss the mark. Who cares what other people are judging you as having or not having? I would say that is, as being a community manager of mobile home park, as being a person who lived in a mobile home. I love my mobile home. I love not having the overhead that other people with larger houses have, and the things that they have to deal with. You know why? Because I love the experience of leaving and going on vacations and traveling every month and having less to do and less to pay for.
Mhm.
That's my experience. That's why I enjoy it. Other people don't want to travel. They want a home they can decorate and throw parties in and all that kind of stuff. And that's their thing, right? We all have the thing that makes us feel the best. And that's what you should go for, and not care what anybody else thinks.
Amen.
Right?
Yes.
And that changes over time, and that's okay too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does change over time. Yeah, the things I wanted when I was 30 is not what I want now.
I think we're more material when we're younger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that too. And I think part of that is because we were taught that, especially our generation.
Mhm.
We were taught what makes somebody successful, especially through the
Our
80s,
things.
Mhm.
are things.
Mhm.
And I believe, I hope, but I believe that our generations taught the generation below us that that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's more about connection, and that really is, right? Because things were important when we were lonely. Things are not as important with connection.
Yes.
Things can suffocate sometimes.
Sure, yeah, they can, right? A lot of times we get overwhelmed by, and that I know when I tried to move from 1,600 square feet and a garage to 1,100 square feet and still have a storage. So yeah, I get it. It's like, just take it. I didn't even have yard sale at the end. I had a free sale. Just take it. All right, so now we are there.
Okay.
We've been there.
This was so fun.
It was fun.
I loved it.
All right, so I'm gonna pray us out
Okay.
and so in this divine confidence, this love, this joy, this time period together, this experience, knowing and affirming that everything and everyone was right where they needed to be today. I say thank you. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God, for each and every person in our world, in our experience, and everything that we see, knowing that as we move with divine confidence, as we move from our divine self and our love, we affect each and every person we meet. And this is the gift of us. And for that, I am grateful. I let it go and I call it good. And together we say, and so it is. Well, thanks for joining us today. I am so glad you were here at Sofa Sundays. Excuse me. And if you would like to contribute to Sofa Sundays, you can do a couple of things. One, if you're watching us on YouTube, please press that like and subscribe. We love that. You can share us with your family and friends. You can go to our Facebook group. It is a group on Facebook called Sofa Sundays. You can also visit us at beginwithinministries.com and donate. You can make a one-time donation, or you can join and become a Spiritual Church Club partner for $45 a month or $75 for a couple. And when you do, you get this amazing mugshot. And you get some other things like our journal and cards and things that help you stay in contact with us. But what you really get is our appreciation in helping us bring our ministry to others. So thank you for that. And we look forward to seeing you next week, where I'm not sure, but we'll have some great topic for you then too. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, cool.
It's in your journal.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.